What's the good word, man? Shout boy JDS Bleedo, man. It's been a minute. I said I'm gonna be consistent, and I am. Life has just been lifing, at the end of the day. And felt like I opened it up with this, man. It's one of my songs, one of my son's songs, older songs. But he say, uh-huh. Or maybe should I wake up? Or maybe should I wake up? You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is what life feel like sometimes, that you want to deep dream. And you don't want to wake up sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let that vibe for a minute. Yeah, I'm in the deep dream. But yeah, what's the good word, man? I'm gonna make this video short and brief, man. Y'all know I don't really like to talk y'all. We in the age of where the attention span ain't really that long. People don't like to listen for more than 5 to 10 minutes. So, I've shared my journey on multiple channels. The Action Streets Media, Radio, Debate Talk for You. About why I left Hebrew Israelite, why I'm no longer Hebrew Israelite, and why I'm no longer even a Christian. I don't really know if I talked about that much, but um, I wanted to just kind of dive into it on my own channel, being that now I'm trying to grow my own brand. And not necessarily when I say my own brand, I ain't saying like just me, because I feel like we all are one collectively, but just, have it where I got access to it and I can, be able to go back, edit it or whatever it may be. Everybody else got their own interviews of me, but I don't have none of my own. So, and I just want to start. I'm not gonna, like I say, make the video too long, but I'm just starting my journey, man. As a child growing up, you given religion, what I'm saying? And my religion was Christianity. And so, I started off not really knowing what the hell was going on in Christianity because I really just didn't know. Just went to church, what I'm saying, did the church thing with mom and dad and stuff like that. And I never understood the concept of God. I just like, man, as a kid, you don't even think about that, to be honest. Like, where the hell we come from? That comes later on down the line. But you know what I'm saying? As a kid, you just enjoying your life. But you get the religion pumped in you as a child a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If you have a religious family. So with me, my mom and them, they wasn't too religious, you know what I'm saying? They didn't really force me to go to church, but, we went to church a little bit, I seen them doing all the little Holy Ghost dancing and all that or whatever. So, deep down in my subconscious mind, I wanted to know like, you know, what what was to that, you know what I'm saying? So as I began to get older and older and take my steps in my journey of life, um, I began to, see like, man, when we go to church, they got this book, and he always quoting a couple passages out the book, but he never really dived fully into the book, you know what I'm saying? Or nobody really reads the book while we at church. Now they would say, we go to Bible study, this and that. But I was like, man, what's up with this book? So I would dibble and dab in it, being that, a teenager, you really don't know what the hell King James, but talking about you reading all these thous and these. But there was always things in my mind that made me question, what I'm saying, the validity of the book itself. Because when you start off, it's talking about Adam and Eve and the talking serpent, what I'm saying, the trees with life and death on them, the trees with life on it. And it's like, what is that? It just didn't seem like a reality, what I'm saying, especially growing up. You like, I never seen none of that. So off the back, religion was in my mind as like some type of fairy tale. You know what I'm saying? Even though I had a journey or a quest to want to figure out this book, because this book was a magical book because it had power. Everybody would go to church, everybody would listen to Reverend, Pastor, Deacon, whoever it was that was preaching. So it was like, damn, this book, what I'm saying, got to have some type of power. And so later on down the life, down the life, what I'm saying, I began to journey off into my own little, things, and I found the Hebrew Israelite movement, and I, basically became one. You know what I'm saying? I was around talking about I'm an Israelite, lost a lot of connections, man. I'm getting back, I'm getting everything back because I'm spiritual. It's been a while. I think I left the Hebrew Israelite movement around 2012, if I'm not mistaken, 2013, somewhere around that. So it's been over 10 years since I've been fully in that. But just on the journey, I went into that, and it intrigued me because there's a chapter in Deuteronomy chapter 28 that talks about being a slave. The black, well, they say the black people at this time. That's the persuasion I was under. That's where the hypnotism came in. That where I'm like, man, maybe what I'm saying, I'm a child of the Bible. Now, hint, the stuff that they pointing out in the Bible, it seems more realistic because it seems like something that's in reality. Because slavery, from being a kid, we was taught that we were slaves and we came from slave ships and stuff like that. So I mean, hey, the Bible talking about captivities and slavery, so it's like, wait a minute, maybe this make a little sense. Now, granted though, It still didn't take away the hocus pocus though. You know what I'm saying? Because I still had in my mind like, all right, that's a part that seemed like it has a little bit of realistic, a little realistic vibe to it. But this other stuff just don't seem like it has realistic vibes to it. So I rocked with it. You know what I'm saying? They got to talking, teaching commandments, laws, statutes. You know what I'm saying? No eating pork, Sabbath days, feast days. And it, for a little bit, it felt like okay, I could rock with this. You know what I mean? So I studied with them for a little bit, and then, questions rise up again. Hey, what's up with this? They start teaching the doctrine saying Jesus is gonna come back and we're gonna go into some type of wilderness and eat some angel food. And all the time I'm like, here we go with the fairy tale stuff. So again, it's like, dang, why they always gotta go into the fairy tale? Because they can't explain the fairy tale stuff. They could try to explain, some of the curses and all that. And in my journey of where I'm at now, I realized they was even doing that wrong. But the more and more I read, the book, I was like, man, this ain't really got too much to really do with me though. You know what I'm saying? Well, us in America, they pumping it out like it is. They putting it on you like, yeah, this is talking about us. But in actuality, it's not. It's about them. You're reading stuff like, in the book that was like, and it shall come to pass if you don't do this. And it was talking to them people. So long story short, that's when I kind of stumbled into eschatology, which is like an end time study of the biblical text. And, I ran across full preterism, futurism, and all these different isms. You know what I'm saying? But full preterism was like Jesus came back in 70 AD, it's all over. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. And so I'm like, man, if Jesus came back in 70 AD, this really ain't got nothing to do. What the hell am I Israelite for? You know what I'm saying? What's the point of being Israelite? Like, it ain't no point. Like, because Jesus already came back. Now, if you start reading the narrative, it really kind of made sense that Jesus would come back for those people because that's who he was talking to. He was saying, I'm gonna come to you and you're gonna see in this day and this time is at near. And you know what I'm saying? You start reading it, and I have a great reading comprehension. I always know how I love reading, you know what I'm saying? So I started reading stuff like that, and I'm like, well, dang, this ain't really got nothing to do with me. So, people like I say, people that know me understand my journey. I can't put this all in like a 10-minute video, which I'm trying, but it's impossible. You know what I'm saying? But I'm always open to talk if anybody interested. Anybody follow me on this channel, got any questions or want to talk about anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm a free spirit. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Um, but back to this, I'm gonna end this video. I see I'm getting pretty lengthy in it, but yeah, back to this is like, so I started studying that, and I'm like, well, this book ain't got nothing to do with us. And so, it still had hocus pocus. Now, don't get me wrong, Jesus floated up to the sky. Jesus was born of a virgin. People raising out of the graves and hellfire forever. You know what I'm saying? Like angels appearing out of nowhere. It's just like all this fairy tale stuff again that we don't see in today's time. So I'm just like, this just don't add up. You know what I'm saying? So if it was a different world where Jesus was in a part of that world and he saved the people that was a part of that world, okay, then it makes sense. So not today, what you got people were saying that they Hebrew Israelites, same thing I used to do 10 years ago. And they like, man, we the people, we the ones of the book, and this is an awakening. And it's like, what are you being awakened to? I mean, think about it. Really, what are you being awakened to? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no nationality. You know what I'm saying? It's no nationality. You don't even claim nationality in the real life. It's a religion. And so, I had to leave it, like I say, and I hope that anybody that's on the fence of leaving it, you get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because, or any form of religion, Christianity as well, like just get out of it, leave it all. And do turn inwardly, because we all have intuition, we all have instinct. That's the divine power that's within us. Think about it. Everything that exists in this realm, the birds, the animals, whatever, the tree, the grass, the sun, the moon, everything that exists, that's a part of existence, doesn't have an instruction manual. And then what type of instruction manual is the Bible when you gotta interpret it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought like if I gave you an instruction manual to put a desk together, and I gave another person the instruction manual to put the desk together. Now, whether they can follow the instructions is one thing, but there would be no interpretation to the instructions. The instruction says what it says. So if the Bible was just a manual or an instruction book, like they say, basic instructions before leaving Earth, then why is there so many interpretations? Why is there so many different people with different beliefs when it comes to reading the Bible? Why? It can't be an instruction manual. And I'll go into that in another video, you know what I'm saying? Like my understanding of what the Bible is for, you know what I'm saying? Because I've done all this studying, And I do have solutions, you know what I'm saying, to why you should leave religion and leave Hebrew, especially Hebrewism, man. That's the worst stuff out here, bro. Like you at the bottom of the bottom. And if I'm not looking at the camera, forgive me, because I'm still working on this. I'm still fresh, but I'm getting better, more alive with it. So I know I'm looking ahead, and that's where the screen is at. So I'm looking at myself, and I know the lens is here. So y'all forgive me. I'm working on it. I'm still a rookie at this. But yeah, it's like, they promote the racism, you know what I'm saying, and the pro-blackism and things of that nature, but it really ain't a nationality. You don't get no benefits with it. In America, what kind of benefits you get? Some people could come here from a foreign country or foreign nation, and then they'll get benefits, you know what I'm saying? They'll get money, you know what I'm saying? They'll get instant stuff where it'll benefit them. But you as a Hebrew Israelite, what benefit do you get? What, not to get thrown in the lake of fire? That's not even biblical. God never told the Israelites nowhere in the Old Testament that if they didn't keep his commandments or do what that he said to do, that he would burn them eternally. What he told the Israelites in the Bible is that he put life and death in front of them, blessings and curses. So if they would have chose to keep the commandments, they would have been blessed. They would have stayed in the land. They would have had all these different things. But since they didn't do it in the story, they was cursed. They got scattered. And Jesus Christ was the one who was supposed to save them. He was the one who was to bring salvation to them. You know what I'm saying? For eternity. And it has nothing to do with us today. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say, man, I'm gonna end it with the song too if I can. I don't know, I'm trying this. I might mess this up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna try, you know what I'm saying? So let's go back to the deep dream. Because remember, Adam was put into a trance when God brought Eve out of his rib. He was put into a deep sleep. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna holler at y'all. Yes, sir. I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'm working. I'm working. I'm gonna get this right. Just give me some time. The more I do this, I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna look straight, but this light so bright too. You feel me? Like I need some sunglasses, shades or something. You feel me? But peace and light, man. Peace and light.